Join Chewie and I as we learn Star Wars 5th edition, and today we're going to learn about the Consular class. I don't have the stats on this, but I'm going to guess that the class designed to build a Jedi or a Sith and run around with a lightsaber is probably pretty popular in the Star Wars 5th edition series. What's interesting with this class, where you can choose to either kind of be a light side of the Force user or a dark side of the Force user, you also have the option to do universal powers, which are kind of neither of them. And they tie this to your stats. So if you want to use a lot of light force powers, that's going to be based on wisdom. But if you want to do dark side powers, that's based on charisma. So depending on your character build, you might do one or the other, and the universal powers can use either. Now, personally, if I was going to build one, I'm probably building more of a healer type of caster, so I'm probably playing the wisdom card and going high on stats for that. But I can see how if somebody was playing a campaign where more of a Sith character made sense, you'd be high in charisma instead. But those seem to be the two stats. You pick one of those and go strong in that. But it does seem that in general, this class is meant to be more at range, to be supporting the other cast. So you might have other players in your party that are intended to be doing the damage, and your role is to keep them up and going and buffing them and making them just do more. And all of the Consular's archetypes are things like way of the seer, way of endurance, way of whatever. They all have some kind of specific focus that they go into, and based on how you want to build your character, choose what your archetype is going to be. As a Force caster, this class most likely resembles something like a wizard in Dungeons and Dragons. Although you can choose whether you're going to be more of like a healer or something else like that. For me, I would probably go the healing route because that's the type of role I like to play in classes. And for that, there is an archetype called Way of the Sage, which focuses in on healing. Now, personally, I am not a big fan of casters. Man, my character has tech casting as it is, and it's already something I don't want to have to deal with. I like classes that are more in the martial type of area. But if I was going to play one that was like a pure caster, I think I would go with the Consular just because it seems to have a lot of options to be able to go in a lot of directions. And of the ones I've looked at so far, it does seem to have kind of like a cool vibe that you can get into in terms of role play, because you kind of get to decide where you like trained as a Jedi or were you just force sensitive and happen to have a strong tie to the Force, but were never trained by anyone in particular. So I can see a lot of really neat role play angles where you could pull in background stories and have a really good thread in the world. Next time, I want to take a look at what the Guardian class is all about.